Good morning. This is day 11, part 11 of this 99 Jeep Cherokee salvage, pull it one tire out of the graveyard type deal. Maybe I should have left it go to the graveyard, but we are getting it put back together. And beautiful day out, Saturday morning, so I feel a little less rushed as compared to a couple hours after work. Hurry up, hurry up. So, show you what I got going this morning and get on to this project here. Let me get you turned around here and give you the tour. It's pretty much, well, it's not the same as the last tours, but it's close. You'll get something new out of it though. Well, to start with, about the only thing I'm going to salvage out of this whole project is I took and I cut the axle shafts. The reason being, I got this thing for steel, and steel's expensive, so I've got two pieces of good size shaft there that I'll throw in the pile, and it'll be made for something. That's going to go in the junk. Yeah, and speaking of junk, a project like this has a lot of frickin' scrap metal and junk. This is just a small fraction of the stuff I've been hauling out of here in steel after this project. Oh, we got our fuel tank cover. We got that all, just put some spray bomb on there. Otherwise, that's looking pretty good. What else we got going on here today? Running out of parts on the bench here. That's a good thing. So we've got left on the list here, we've got brake calipers, and we've got rotors. And what I did on there is I painted these black because typically they rust up pretty quick on there. Is it gonna do any good? I don't know. Make me feel better? Yeah. The rotors, I did not paint all these black. These come black like this, but the areas where the disc isn't, I just put a little more Rust-Oleum from here up, and same on the inside. We got our shocks, and then we've got our control arms. Yeah, I think these control arms are a little overkill for what they're doing on this particular unit here, and probably most other ones, because it goes back to this big massive chunk of steel here is being bolted onto a piece of 16 gauge flange on each side. So the math just doesn't work out. But anyways, it is this is rough country. They were relatively inexpensive, good quality, no complaints. It's probably a little overkill for my application. Upper control arm, except it did not come with upper bushings, so I've got to check to make sure the bushings that are in there are pretty good. Or it's another trip to O'Reilly's and see if I can find it. And did just a little bit of cleanup on here. I try to do that about every other day, just get a reset so that you're not digging in your own piles of junk. It's just a better feeling when you're coming out here. It's a little cleaner. And now I got to start following through with my notes, because about 4 days ago, put the cover on here, but I wrote myself a note to tighten bolts and add oil. Now that I got the axle shafts in there, I better get that off the list sooner than later so it doesn't get forgotten. And it's gonna be something someday, right? Okay, talk to you guys later when I start ripping more stuff apart on here. Well, I made it to the control arms. I got the one control arm off, and while I had it off, I am taking and cleaning or de-rusting and painting right away, putting a little bit of a rust renovator on there, and then some high performance enamel, professional. That must be the stuff we need. So anyways, as I go, It might stay on there a couple of days and wash off, but we'll see. But let me show you what I got going on with the control arms that I got out here. Got to take and assemble them. They come as a part here. So I've got to get the length close to the other one. So what I did is I just put a bolt in there, put a bolt in there, match it up to make sure these bolts are coming out of there square, and frickin' mess with the anti-seize, just anti-seize that shaft up. Also, the bolts that hold this in here, they don't have heads on there. They got these little frickin' tabs on here. So what I did, I took and I plug welded a 1/2-inch nut on the top here. Now I can get a wrench on the other side of that. Same with this one here. They got that little tab and it just sort of hooks around the sheet metal on there, and it was a pain to hold that in and get that off. So that's what I've got to do to all the bolt heads on this, is weld that bolt, that nut on there. So back at her. See if I can get these control arms put in there. Well, it's time to weld her up. There, I did what Jeep should have did when they made this deal. It was just such a pain trying to get those out of there without her able to grab it with a wrench. So, bring it back when we got something else sort of interesting. The battle of the control arms. And I think I got a win on this deal here. Oh, that was a mess getting these things off of here. They were all just seized and rusted. That's the thing with these projects like this. They take 4 times as long because you're just dealing with it. But when I got it all apart, I took and descaled and gave it the old Craigslist rebuild job here and just started spray bombing everything once I got it descaled. Now, with these little tip on these control arms, when you put them in there, put a washer behind the nut and the bolt. Reason being is this is such light gauge material right here. If you ever see movement in these bolts at all you got to do is just take a weld, grind this off a little on each side and just put a weld right here and here, and you're going to get the integrity of your hole back in place there. And then also I had to grind the washer on the top because it had to fit in the top here. Otherwise, control arms are in. Did a little more spray bombing on here, cleaning everything up. And one thing with that spray bomb on here is I'll be able to spot the problem areas. If I see something bleeding or rusting through, that's an area that's going to need a little attention. Some of the stuff up in here, yeah, if I had time right now, I hate to even walk away from that, but that'll be a winter project in here, is to get in there and start cutting a few of those parts out and putting some patch paddles in here. But running out of time on this deal here. And it's lunchtime. I'm going to go in and see if I can find something to eat. And also, with these chip and hammer deals, got it all figured out. My little cheapo one still works the best for just knocking the loose scale off. The big beast that I just purchased, that one that I've been using for knocking big stuff off, but that will put a hole in almost anything you push it up against, so be careful. And I can use this for the next thing I get at is the shock bolts. I can just literally put the chisel on there and I can just cut those shock bolts off. And before I put the paint on there, this little needler seems to do a real good job of cleaning it up. So that's the arsenal for descaling. And then got couple cases of rust inhibitor and Rust-Oleum, and you'll have a brand new, well, no, you'll have a vehicle when you're done. Talk to you later. Gotta go get something to eat. Well, I went in for lunch and I ended up here. It's about 15 miles north up in Abrams at a friend of ours. They invited us for a cookout, and I'll give you just a little bit of a tour of what they've got. So, and I'm going to see what they got for food because I didn't eat my lunch yet. So let me get you turned around here and show you what we got. Well, to start out with, where we parked, there's a whole bucket of horns here. They're hunters. They do everything for hunting, and this is their hunting camp. And they've got a maple syrup cooker over there. And it's the first time I've been up here. I didn't know it was quite the elaborate place here, but some sort of a shed going on over there. And another big building here. Wow, I thought this was just they had a garage up here. I guess they got something. And I found the food. And Jennifer's over there. She's the one, this is her party, so let's see what they got to eat. So this is their hunting weekend shack and their hunting shack here. They just got a bed there. They got all their critters on the walls there. Oh, they like the turkeys. They got a bear. Yeah, I guess this is, everybody wants a hunting shack like this, and that's all it is, attached to the building. Well, now that I'm done sort of looking at stuff around here, I think this is a better lunch than what I was going to come up with. I was going to start with peanut butter honey sandwiches, and we're gonna move it up a little bit to I don't know what we've got over there, but we've got a pile of food over there. Oh, there's all kinds of stuff there. Sloppy Joes, smoked pulled pork, corn, turkey, all kinds of goodies over there. Oh, some taco salad. Yeah, this is a good lunch. And this is the maple syrup shack. Quite the outfit here for maple syrup. They're hardcore into their maple syrup. And this is this maple syrup cooker. We made 3 of these up at our shop. That's what the guys in the shop made up. A nice door set up on there. Yeah, they got the burners and everything in there, the stacks. And it's sort of, this is what they had here was this one. And then they said they needed 3 more like that, so that's what we came up with. So they worked. Pretty good deal here. Well, we're going to go find the hunting shack out in the woods there. So this is the inside of the 2 20-foot containers. We put in the drop cylinder lights, framed out, pass through. We hooked just a couple of simple electrical plugs in here, but this is their the hunting shack. Well, got back from lunch from up our friends there up, and now we got some friends that came over, so I still didn't get back out to the garage yet. So got Rachel and Alyssa and Jean, and all the ponies are out here just enjoying this warm weather and trying to avoid all the bugs. Well, I better get back in there and get something done, or Crusty ain't gonna get done. Well, I made it back from lunch. That was quite the lunch I had. Now it's back at her. So putting the shocks in. What we got to do is get some our trusted anti-seize up on the top, make a more frickin' mess. The bottom, I don't need anti-seize because I am going to use stainless steel bolts. I use a lot of stainless steel bolts and a combination of bolts. Sometimes I'll use stainless washers on something, and then I'll use stainless nylocks with the steel bolts just to get it off there. You got to get the harder grade of stainless, and it's still not as strong as your grade 8s. You just got to watch where you use them. But on these shocks, I don't think there's a problem because I don't think they had a hardened bolt, and it was smaller than what I'm putting in here. So I've got everything cleaned, took the air chisels, cleaned everything off, and now this is one of the simpler projects. It didn't come off too bad. I had used the air chisel a little bit to get the off of there. And I'm doubling up on these stainless washers. They are a little thinner, but it's just that once you don't have to worry about them rusting and seizing on there. But you do have the heavier bolts. You got to worry about the stainless seizing to one another. So, anyways, let's see, get this one down in here. This one's a little bit of a tighter fit in here. See if I can get this the first shot. Yep, I think I do. So, get that in there, tighten those up, and away we go. And the simple part is that's got to line up into that hole, and you just cut the strap and send it. Oh, almost. There you go. One shock in, tighten the bolts, and on to the next project. Well, I think we got another win with all the steering linkages. Took it all out of the boxes, everything came individual, and I think it all looks right. So, what a surprise. I'll get that put in there and give you a peek once we get it all put up. Well, I'm calling her quits for today. Got quite a few wins. Didn't find any extra parts that I had to buy or wrong parts that I had to go get. And it's starting to get dark out there. Got to get in. Smelt enough paint fumes. Been loopy all frickin' day. Maybe that's why I can stand working on Crusty here, is because I'm frickin' all huffed up on frickin' Rust-Oleum. Phew. So, anyways, tomorrow I got the brakes pads on one side, get the other side done, start running brake lines. We still got our exhaust sitting on the floor over there. That's got to get on, and just keep on keeping on. So, thanks for sticking with me for another day. Talk to you guys later. And hopefully I won't get any more lumps on the head. Smacked my head a couple times underneath that damn thing, so need to get a hard hat on. Thank you for watching Alan's Day. Life is about making choices. Some things are already perfect. Some things you may choose to upgrade. This channel will show you both. Please like, subscribe, and share. Thanks again.